Good evening, everyone. Thank you again to Rabbi for asking me to share some Divrei Torah. I would like to speak briefly about Inyana D'Yoma, this time events in the non-Jewish calendar this time of year. It's quite incredible if you think about it, how although Judaism had an impact on the world, over many years and various different events, there's no question that another religion that started by Jews, that is Christianity, had a far bigger impact and brought in far more people to it from the outside than Judaism did, despite what we obviously believe to be the facts, which are that this religion was based on something completely false. So one of the main differences, one of the things that are false about this religion, inherently so, is the fact that the belief in a God that is partly physical, and a God that has more than one part, all beliefs that we are completely forbidden to us and completely wrong, completely false. But one of the challenges, and why I believe, the reason why I believe that it was easier for the Christians to bring people into this belief, was because we live in a physical world, and a world that very much is physical, and therefore to transmit to others that there is a God who is very different to that was perhaps not so easy for people to swallow, and the dilution that Christianity did to that, making God far closer to what a human was something that's far easier for people to take in. We also, even in Judaism, we have certain concepts that we need, that perhaps are not the best representation of the truth, but were needed because we are human. For example, the Rambam writes that bringing korbanos, bringing sacrifices, is a very physical action, and never meant as the ideal way to serve Hashem, but it was necessary for humans to do that. People wouldn't be able to serve Hashem just by davening, just by thinking in their mind, which can be on a higher level. They had to have something physical, and it was done in a way that has to be done in one place. When we daven towards one place, to make it clear that all of these things, all these physical actions that we do, are directed towards something that's very different to us, and something that's only one, unlike anything physical. And that point is the thing that what differentiates between us and Christianity. The fact that we know, although we have to live in a physical world and act accordingly, we have to know, and to be very clear to us, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we are serving is something that's very different to that. We can do all these physical things, but to know that we are separate, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not part of this physical world that we see, and we are serving something higher than that. Whenever we have that in mind, then we can be successful. Now, the challenge in our world, in a world that's moving fast away from Christianity, where it's no longer a popular view, certainly amongst the more enlightened, is to use the kind of to catch in a moment where, Christianity is still pretty popular, but on the decline. Our job is to transmit to the world the fact that the world who is seeing the faults with that kind of religion, like Christianity, the things, the falsehoods, the things that don't make sense, and to show them that to accept the parts of it that are true, as the Rambam writes, that these other religions are methods to bring people closer to the real truth. And it's now that we have that power, we are a strong nation, we have our own country, It's one of our tasks that we need to work on, and it's something that's very much our job as Am Yisrael to do. Good night, everyone.